David McIntosh. Guys, thanks for coming on this morning. David, we're going to start with you. This is a very interesting proposal from a former hard-nosed prosecutor, wouldn't you say?
You know, at the Club for Growth, we've been following these, and I think your theory is correct. It's another example of how far left AOC and the progressives are pulling the presidential candidates. First, Bernie signed up for this. Joe Biden moved very far left when he adopted Cortez's environmental policies, basically. And now Kamala Harris offering essentially to sign up former prisoners for welfare rather than trying to get them a job so they can own their own house and make it on their own.
Teslin, you know, I mean, the far left doesn't really like prosecutors. Does Kamala need something like this to make her a better candidate?
Yeah, it's really not about Kamala Harris. This is about Democrats trying to right the wrong of the crime bill from the 90s. Joe Biden, who wrote the crime bill, Senator Bernie Sanders, who signed the crime bill, they should be front and center with this. This is deeper than just ex-cons who are trying to get welfare. This is also about housing discrimination for those who cannot get apartments. These are personal friends of mine. Antoine Samuels in Oklahoma City talked to me about this 5 years ago. Clifford Johnson, who did 15 years in prison and had a lot of pride when he was able to get his own apartment. So I don't care who fixes it, Democrats, Republicans, either from the First Step Act or either with this new bill, something needs to be done to make sure that we do something about recidivism and that people are able to get their own apartment in their own name and to be law-abiding citizens. So if it's pandering, then I'm the first one to call it out, but they should be doing something to fix this issue.
David, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez says that denying convicts a chance to get government housing when they get out of prison actually increases the chances of recidivism, that if they don't have a place to live, they're more likely to commit a crime. What do you say to that?
I think it's important to take care of folks when they leave prison and want to reform. But the Republican view will be help them get a job so they can make it on their own. Don't sign them up for a welfare program. And I think what you're seeing is this move to the left is not just with the presidential candidates, but AOC and her colleagues in the House. The New Democrats, the Club for Growth, just released a study. 92% of the times they vote with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. So she's having a huge influence pulling the whole party to the left, which will be a problem for them in the fall.
Yeah. Let's read Kamala's statement here about this. I'm proud to work with Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez to ensure formerly incarcerated individuals and their families have access to safe and affordable housing as they transition back into their communities. Teslin, let's widen this out for a second. A lot of these candidates are going to AOC trying to get her blessing or her endorsement here in 2020. There's a number of people working with her right now, except Joe Biden. He, again, is the outlier. Is that a good move for him?
Well, I think Joe Biden is concerned about the moderate Democrat. I mean, he's been very clear that he's a moderate candidate. He says he has some progressive positions, but he understands that 80% of Americans, and particularly even Democrats, are center left. So I think he's going to stick to that. You know, the Alexandria Cortez movement, I get it, it's popular on Twitter, but Joe Biden is concerned of older voters who's had their support for years, and I think he's going to stick to that.
David, is Biden making a better move than Kamala and the others on this?
You know, it's interesting. Biden has a problem because he gets a lot of support now from minority voters, but when they find his record in the past on busing and some of the racial issues, they move away from him. Kamala hit him in the debate on that, and I think you're going to see some other candidates come up. It's going to be a tough road for Joe Biden to stick to that moderate but try to be progressive on some things. I think it's a bad move in the primary. In the general election, it probably helps him then.
Yeah, he's walking a weird line right now. David Teslin, thank you so much. We do appreciate it.